Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Divine and in today's tutorial I'll be showing us how to go about the sewing of this inner corset blouse with a strap and an organza ruffle sleeve. So first I'll be using 1.5 yard of satin fabric, 1 yard of organza fabric and 1.5 yard of stay. So I'm going to be ironing my stay now on my satin fabric, after which I'll be pinning my patterns on this fabric. So I've ironed my estee now and I've also pinned my patterns on the fabric. So I added half-inch seam allowance all around this pattern except the side front and the back side, the side back, where I added 1-inch seam allowance. Every other place I added half-inch all around the pattern. So I'm going to cut now, and I cut out 2 of each of this pattern. So one is going to be for the main fabric and one is going to be for the lining. So I'm using the same satin fabric for the main bodice of this blouse and also the lining. The next thing I'll be cutting now is the wording, and I'll be cutting 2 pieces of this wording. One is going to be for the main fabric and one is going to be for the lining. So our lining is going to be having wording. So I'll cut for the side and I'll cut 2 of these also. So I'm going to mark the upper part of this wording. Now to sew our wording on our blouse, I'm going to be facing the side with the side with the shiny part, the side with the gum. I'm going to be facing it on the SD. Then turn it over and sew 0.25 so the wording does not move. I'll sew it in place. Then for my center piece also, the side with the shiny side will be facing the SD, and you can see my wording did not get to the top of my blouse. So please make sure you do yours like that. Then I'll be sewing the side with 0.25. So this is what I have. I've done the same thing for the main bodice and the lining. The next thing to do now is to join each of these pieces together using half-inch seam allowance, as you can see. But before taking it to my machine, I'll just be arranging all the pieces together. So I will just sew everything at once when I take it to my machine. So you need to properly label your pieces so when joining it is not confusing, as you can see here. And I'll be joining all the sides with half-inch except the side front and the side back where I added 1 inch for seam allowance. So I've done that here. I've also gone ahead to iron the seam allowance open, and I've done this for my lining and the main fabric. So the next thing to do now, this is going to be my lining piece where I'm going to be sewing my boning. And I'll be sewing my boning. I'll just be marking out where I want my boning to be. I'll be showing us how I did that after sewing. But we should make sure our boning does not start from half-inch below the neckline and stops half-inch before the hem of our blouse. And this is what we have. You can see the placement of my boning, and this is how our back looks. So next I'll be adding our push-up bra cups to this, and I already made a previous tutorial on how to go about that, so please watch that video before we continue with this video. So for the strap, I'll place my front strap and back strap together, making sure the 2 up sides are facing each other. And I'm going to make sure it's straight. Then I'm going to tape it down so it can become one piece. I've gone ahead to cut now 2 pieces of this, one for the left hand and one for the right hand. Then I added my seam allowance on the side, on the up and down of half-inch. So I cut this strap on fold. So I'm going to be closing the side now with half-inch. Then I'll turn it over to the right side and iron it out. So I've attached my bra cups now, and this is how it looks. And this is my strap here. I've also gone ahead to iron it. So I'll be attaching this strap now to the front of my blouse, And from this joining here, I'll be marking 1 inch. So from that 1 inch, that is where our strap is going to be starting from, 1 inch away from that joining line. And please make sure the front strap is where you are attaching. Don't attach the back strap to the front. And you can see I've pinned it now, and I'm left with 1/2 inch. So that 1/2 inch there is for sewing, is to close up that side. So I'll mark 1 inch away from the joining there. That is where our strap is going to be starting. Okay, so after doing that, now I'll be placing my lining piece on the main front piece. Then I'm going to be sewing with 1/2 inch all the way, and I'll also sew the sides with 1/2 inch. So when sewing, I attached my hemming gum to this part, so when we iron it, everything lays flat and nice. So I'm turning out my blouse now, and this is what we have. So you turn it out properly, and this is what I have. Next, I'm going to be sewing my boning channels. I'm going to be sewing where my plastic boning is going to be passing through. So I'm going to be sewing 4 straight lines with 1/2 inch interval between each lines. So I'll mark a 1/2 inch intervals and sew 4 straight lines. And inside that 1/2 inch spacing I gave, I inserted my plastic boning. So the second boning channel, I left it, that's where our eyelet is going to be. I didn't put plastic boning in the second channel because I'm going to be inserting my eyelet. So now I'm going to be closing down the hem of my blouse. I'm going to be piping it with a lining fabric to properly finish the blouse. Then I'm cut out a piece of fabric of 16 inches by 4 inches. I'll be using this for the base of my ruffles. So 16 inches by length by 4 inches width. I'll be sewing it close with 1/2 inch. I'll do that for the second strap, then turn it out and iron. And this is what we have. This is where our ruffles is going to be, on top of this strap. And I said it's 16 inches length, so please take note of that. So I'm going to be pinning my strap this way. So to get the measurements for this, you can measure it on the bodies of the person you are making your outfit for, how long you want your strap to be. And before I fix the back strap, I'll first be fixing my sleeve, the strap of my sleeve, before I fix the base. I'll put my sleeve underneath my blouse like so. I'll sew on it before I place the base of my ruffles. I'll pin it in place, then sew on it also. So this is what we are going to be having. So I'll do this for the second side. I'll first attach my strap at the back of my blouse. I'll take it to my machine and sew it down before I attach the base of my ruffles. I'll sew it down also. Then I'll attach the back base. Then I'll sew it down. So this is what we are going to be having after doing that. So this is my organza fabric, and I've gone ahead to divide my 1 yard into 2. So I'm having 18 inches, and I'm having 2 pieces for each of the sleeves. So I folded this 18 inches now into 2 again. That will give me 9, and I'm going to be running loose stitches all the way to the hem of my organza. So I'm going to be running gather stitch at that point. Then I'll measure what I have on my strap, on my base, where the ruffles is going to be, and I'm having 15 inches. So that 15 inches now, I have a organza length of 60 inches. So I'll be drawing gathers of this 60 inches till it's giving me 15. As you can see, I'm having 15 inches here. The next thing I'll do now is to sew tight stitches or normal stitches on this gather so it doesn't move. Then I closed one part of this organza. So I'm going to be turning it out from the other side. As you can see, after turning it out from this other side, I'll close up the side that is open. So now fold this part in and sew it close. So this is what we'll be having. So now I'll take it to my blouse now to drape it on the base we created. So the part with the joining is going to be pinned on the base, so it's not showing. The part with the joining, where we did our gather stitch. So I'm going to pin it on the base so it's not showing outside. I'll pin it all the way to the back. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to be picking different points at random, and I'm going to be pinning it as I'm picking it. So we need our pins at this point. We're going to be pinning it randomly so we can see the effect it's giving before we go in with our needle and thread to hand tack. So we need to pin, we'll assess how it's coming out and continue pinning. Then when we're totally fine with the end results, we can now go in and use our needle and thread and tack exactly on those points that we pinned. We'll tack exactly on those points. So you can see, you just look at how it's coming out. And you can pin it how you want it to be. So you can see what we are having here. So you just keep on pinning, and after pinning we're going to be hand tacking with our needle and thread exactly at the point we pinned. Okay, so I'm going to do this for the second sleeve, and this is what we have. You can see how beautiful it is, and this is the final look, guys. You can see it's giving all it's meant to give. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel, like and share this video if you've not done so already. Bye for now.